Well, howdy, folks, and welcome back to another episode of Follow the Leader. I'm your host, Lee Larson, and y'all, we got a Montana local woman here with us today, Angie Buckley. Welcome.
Hi, Lee. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Angie Buckley is a member of Junior League of Billings. Junior League, for those, is a national organization, women's organization, and we'll talk about that just a sec. But she is out of Billings and serves as the president-elect as well as the membership chair. And they are organizing they have been for 10 years now, a Montana leadership conference there in Billings. It's for women. And I'm so excited to promote both Junior League and your Montana leadership conference. Can you tell us, Angie, tell us all about yourself. How did you find Junior League?
Hi, Lee. Thanks so much for having me. Well, my sister lives in Texas and has been involved in Junior League there for about 10 years and had such a great experience and was really encouraging me to check out Junior League in Billings. I've lived in Montana my entire life and I've lived in Billings for 20 years. And I tend to be a little bit of a complainer when things aren't going well in the community and really didn't see a lot of leadership on a community level that was making this a place that I was really proud to be part of and be from because I've lived here for so long now. And I decided, put up or shut up, be part of the solution, not part of the problem. So Junior League is such a great opportunity to be part of a group of women who are leading women to do service to make a difference in the community. Junior League in Billings has been responsible for starting the Wise Wonders Children's Museum. We started Tumbleweed, which is a youth shelter program, and most recently had a laundry project for several years that we went into a laundromat once a month and paid for people to have their laundry done, which they were doing themselves, but that way their resources were able to be directed to things like stable housing and making sure their kids had new shoes if that's what they wanted, rather than laundry. It also allowed people who had the need to make sure their laundry was clean to go to work, go to school, go to job interviews, and addressing those issues that were just really falling through the cracks in the community is what Junior League does. And I was really excited to be part of that. I've been part of Junior League for just 2 years. People are typically a little younger than me when they start, but we are open to any woman of any age. And in the last 2 years, getting more involved, being part of that solution. I'm now on the board of directors as the membership chair. We have more than doubled our membership in the last 2 years after taking a pretty steep dive after COVID, which so many membership-based organizations have. And then I'm also the president-elect, meaning I get to be president in 2 years.
That is so awesome. Thank you for your leadership. And I love that your sister in Texas, where I'm from, got involved with Junior League. Where is she in Texas?
Well, she currently lives in Orange, Texas, but prior to that, she was living in the Houston area. I know they have a certain word for that, but particularly the Woodlands.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and that's exactly what Junior League is about, a national organization of women and constituted of chapters across the country. And did I read it's in Canada and Mexico too?
Kenya. Yeah. And we actually have a new member who is from Kenya. So we were really excited to point out that we have a chapter in Kenya.
Wow. That's really special. When you talk about what Junior League does, you've listed obviously some wonderful organizations. You talked about Tumbleweed and talked about Wise Wonders. What does it look like for Junior League to get involved with something like that? Kind of walk us through what it means for Junior League to support something.
Well, Junior League tends to identify a gap in the community. This year we did a community needs assessment as well, and then kind of come up with an idea. It's very membership driven, and so our membership has identified women and children as our ongoing focus, but we are currently in the development stages of figuring out exactly what the women and children in our community need. I'm a mental health therapist, and I am certainly familiar with the mental health crisis that is ongoing across the country, but what it looks like, particularly in Montana and in Billings. But I am not the reason that mental health was identified as an area for us to direct some focus toward. And so at this point, we are developing projects to continue to support projects like at Wise Wonders and with YWCA residents in Billings who are part of that women and children focus. But then we're also expanding to offer a our like series on mental health topics that apply particularly to women. We're going to roll that out in September of 2026, and we'll offer online and in-person opportunities for anyone in the country and in Billings and in Montana to be part of those by participating as an audience member. I'm lucky enough to have some great contacts in the mental health world. And so we're going to be bringing in Montana experts to talk about what it looks like to address hormones and mental health in women, ADHD in women, what addiction can look like in women, because so much research is all about men. And so we want to really get the conversation to address women's needs. This is also part of the Association of Junior Leagues International campaign called All Women, just a second, Every Woman, All Things. And Every Woman, All Things is really taking a look at how women are kind of carrying our culture and are the social fabric of our nation in terms of caregiving, in terms of making sure that homes are moving in the ways that they want to on a family level, on a community level, but also women are who are making communities thrive. And we recognize the pressure that that can sometimes result in, but also we're developing resources to hopefully support women as they are taking on that pressure.
Absolutely. And that's exactly, I saw a meme recently that was like, oh, look, now the women are, shouldering the burden of a revolution. You see how women show up over and over in
Yep.
history.
As Amy
Um,
Poehler says, women are amazing.
yes. Oh, yes. Yes, canonize Amy Poehler for sure. But um,
Mhm.
she's fantastic, and I'm thankful that you are doing this, particularly in Billings. I like that you covered the mental health. Are there other issues that you have seen either Billings or regionally that have some that you feel like Junior League has, I don't know, not necessarily addressed, but like is kind of harder to address? I mean, there's so many things that Junior League just can't solve. Um,
Right,
and
which are bigger on that um, systems level, right? And so I think those are things that, like, in some ways, gratefully aren't our job as Junior League. It's things like what healthcare looks like in a rural state. Montana is actually considered a frontier state by CMS, and it's things like addressing what public education looks like. It's things like addressing um, just the divisions in our communities. Um, and thankfully, what we've really focused on in the last year as I've been membership chair is building relationships, not amongst each other in Junior League, but also with other women's organizations. That's part of why we're partnering with the YWCA and Wise Wonders for service projects this spring. But also, I think that building relationships is really what keeps us going in a culture that breeds division.
breeds division, and we're also overwhelmed and overworked, and so particularly for women it can be very isolating, but if you have children and like, or not have children, but just being an adult, a woman, and can have its isolating, and having a community like you immediately, like,
Yeah.
not only does it draw people in and address that, but then you're not just a social club. And that's what's really cool about Junior League is there's definitely the social aspect. You want to get to know other women in your community. Um, but it's, and I say that because I have heard, oh, it's just like a Southern housewife organization. It's just, and it actually isn't. It's pretty
Yeah,
significant in
I
certain
would not.
states. Has power. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was laughing because I am not a Southern housewife. Um, I am a professional who owns my own business and works 40 hours a week and mentors younger therapists and is a dog mom and I like to lift weights and I'm a daughter and a sister and an auntie and a wife and I really value those roles, but friend is a role that sometimes gets put to the wayside. And so to build relationships as we're contributing to the community and leading other women to do so really like checks a lot of boxes for me. Certainly in Billings, I've even heard like, well, don't you need to have a lot of money? Don't you need to have certain resources to participate in Junior League? And that's not the expectation at all. We want you to come as you are. We will meet you where you are and in whatever stage of life you are and give you opportunities to develop relationships and contribute to the community in the ways that best meet your needs. We do certainly ask for some time, but hopefully that's time that you want to give. I'm middle aged, very firmly middle aged, but we have new moms, we have people who are just getting married and starting their careers. We really just are available to meet you where you are again and celebrate that. And if you need to bring your baby to a meeting, there's going to be like 13 other people that want to hold him.
And that's exactly. I mean, you talk about Montana being a frontier state with a baby on her hip. She's gonna get her done. So it's
That's right.
I love that. And um, the it's so, how do I want to say this? It's Montana can be tough because it's so sparsely populated. And everyone kind of gets siloed out. I'm sure, like you said, the building the relationships, the development of skills, the low barriers to entry. Um, how often, like you talked about time. Can you talk about the time commitment? What does
Yeah.
it look like to be a junior leaguer?
Yeah. So we have a monthly meeting for our general membership, and that's once a month. Usually an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours if we're having a lot of social time. And in those meetings, we A, build in social time and having dinner, but B, we're addressing what what our various committees are doing in the community and making sure that everyone knows what's available. If you happen to be on the board like I am, then you're committing to probably another hour and a half meeting in a month. Junior League does its work through committees. And so when you choose what committee you want to be a part of, maybe it's the membership committee, which I chair, then that's probably another meeting a month. But these are available in the ways that you're available. Like if you need to Zoom in, no problem. My meeting is about 30 minutes and it's to let committee members know what we're doing and what the needs from them are, but also how they can like amplify their participation. Um, we have community membership, fundraising and events, nominating committees right now in our junior league, and then the roles of the board. Right now, we're in the nominating season. Our president-elect, president-elect membership, which I do both, nominating. There's a treasurer, a secretary, and then our fundraising and events coordinator is also part.
Oh, and that's cool too. I mean, Junior League, as an organization, a group of volunteer women came together and put on you've hosted for the last 10, this will be your 10th, but you have been organizing this Montana Leadership Conference. Organizing a conference, that's a skill. I mean, of
Yeah.
itself, that is a lot of work that, someone may not have, which is cool too. Can you talk about what it's like to work through these committees to plan events?
Yeah. And so one of the things that we're really lucky is that we have strong leadership on the board. And so that fundraising and events chair is sort of leading the way and then delegating and asking people to participate. That's how I got involved in the conference this year. I offered to work particularly with the speakers, and then I also was part of choosing the awards recipients for our first Montana Women's Leadership Awards. So, Junior League identified this opportunity 10 years ago to amplify women leadership in our community, and it certainly looks different than it did then. We now, this year, have, I believe, 13 speakers, and there's breakout sessions all day in addition to a keynote speaker at the end of the day. We're lucky enough to have people from all over who want to be part of our conference. And it was a pretty hard choice to figure out who we were going to amplify the voices of this year. Our theme is Next is Now. And so just really identifying that the future that we've all been working for, we're there. What does it look like? What do we want it to look like? We can't just be waiting around for someone to come and tell us what to do next. We're going to figure it out ourselves and take it from there as leaders in the community and throughout our state. It is a really tough job. We are lucky enough to have people that have really great skills in marketing and public relations and design and writing. And that is our event chair, Hannah Olson, who makes a lot of that happen. She's been involved in Junior League. Last year, she was the president. And so she knows what it looks like. This is actually my first year participating or being involved. And so making sure that this is an event that not only continues to be what it has been, but that it continues to evolve. Like, people have come to expect from this event really great presentations from amazing women throughout the state. And not only do we want to make sure that it's that, but that we continue to exceed expectations. It was actually the conference that sort of inspired this mental health series that we're starting next year. The organizing group for the mental health series are also therapists and have been participants and speakers at the conference and said, hey, something that Junior League does really well is the conference. Could we do something like that? Well, yeah, but the hardest thing about going to conferences, what speakers am I going to go to? Because I don't want to miss out on any of them. And so we said, let's highlight people one at a time so that everyone can get all that each of the speakers is offering.
Well, I look forward to going to Billings next month for the conference. Can you tell us a little bit about the speakers?
Yeah, I sure can. We're really excited to have you. We feel like being able to have someone who is not directly from Billings is an opportunity to highlight a voice that we wouldn't necessarily be exposed to here. And so we're super excited that you're going to be part of this. Cynthia Palmer, who's also a therapist and a personal friend, is going to be one of the presenters. She has a lot of experience as not only a mental health provider, but she has been through some things that have impacted her mental health. And she's going to be talking about how she got there, what helped her get through some tough times, but also what is driving her forward still. We are lucky enough to have, I'm sorry, you're going to edit this, right?
Yeah.
I didn't have them pulled up.
Oh, it's okay. Yes, yeah, for sure.
I was just going to like pull it out of my head and I was like, I don't have that right in front of me. Sorry. I'm so embarrassed. But okay.
Fine.
So, let me pull it up and then I'll be all in.
No, and I can actually re-ask the question too, and we'll just take out this whole chunk.
You can't believe how many Google Drives I have with um, everything that says Montana Women's Leadership Conference. Okay,
I,
I am ready when you are. Sorry
yeah.
about that.
um, Funny that I saw a TikTok creator yesterday that was like, I have so many tabs open on my laptop, I'm about to turn into the actual Joker, and like, and
Yeah,
did the Joaquin Phoenix, and I was like, yeah.
I have
Um,
like 30 tabs open right now, and usually after 2 weeks, I just close them all. Okay, can we just start over with that?
yeah, absolutely. Um, I am so excited to be a speaker at next month's. You know, it's now
Yeah,
here. Okay.
I'm glad it happened to you.
Yeah, see, all the time. I am so excited to be a speaker at next month's Montana Leadership Conference. It is your 10th time hosting this conference. Can you talk a little bit about the other speakers that will be there for those who are interested in joining or participating?
Yeah, we're so excited to have you too because we're really looking forward to the opportunity to amplify a voice that's not from Billings proper because it's an opportunity to hear from someone we wouldn't necessarily be exposed to. This is really a great opportunity to get to hear from Montana women in general. Um, so, other people we're lucky enough to host Lily Amani. She is a survivor of domestic violence. She's an ongoing advocate for survivors, and she's going to be talking about how she has overcome adversity from her childhood and adult relationships, but also talk about some of the things that are barriers to women to and how she has overcome them. She has a great message of empowerment that I think will help any woman really believe in themselves and build the confidence of being able to do anything. We also are bringing in Katie Curry. She is a doctor of chiropractic and is a Montana native. She actually used to be a professional snowboarder, so I bet the Olympics were really fun for her. But she will be talking about some of the family dynamics and adaptive leadership in the face of technology, particularly how to parent when there are screens everywhere, which I can't imagine what a big challenge that is on a regular basis and probably only getting more challenging. Cynthia Palmer is also a therapist. She's also a personal friend and has been my mentor. So I'm really excited to hear what she's going to share. She is a clinical director. She founded her own counseling clinic. And she's also going to be talking about her professional journey, but also the professional work that centers on trauma healing, resilience, authentic leadership. I think that one of the things that everyone brings to the conference is their own stuff, and not meaning that that's necessarily bad, but I think that women so often run into barriers, whether it's from systems or whether it's from coming from within them, that can be a challenge to meeting their goals. And so I think our first session of the day is going to be a good opportunity for people to hear from people, other women who are leading the way to living really strong, authentic lives.
Beautiful.
Our second session of the day, because we start right at 9 a.m., getting it going, also talks a lot about leadership. You'll be part of that, talking about how women have been leaders in Montana and how we got to where we are today. But also Molly Whalen, who is from Bozeman. I think she's also going to be with you on your podcast. We'll be talking about leading with your voice and your values. She's a business president. She's a co-owner. She's an entrepreneur. She really focuses on empowering women to lead with clarity and conviction. She draws on her own business leadership and her experience as a leadership coach. But I think that women are going to really resonate with how to make sure that their roles of leadership reflect their values, which I think Junior League does such a great job of in doing. Like, I've never had, we I think you hear stories about having to maybe have some shaking of your integrity and authenticity. And that is not what we are doing in Junior League. And that's not and we want to support other women staying strong to who they are and helping progress forward, not only their lives personally and professionally, but our community and state. Terry Todd, who is actually the co-founder of Gratitude in Action. It is a thrift store that donates proceeds to people in recovery. And we're really excited to hear from her about her role in the recovery community, but she really emphasizes growth, resilience, and how despite facing discomfort, you can accomplish your goals and help your community transform.
I'm really thankful to hear that. Just again, all these different voices, and I know you're still in the middle, but just even having a recovery voice is so powerful.
Mhm.
How many women?
Yeah.
So, and then you talked about the business result. I mean, there's so far this sounds robust. Is
Yeah.
and
We
I'm
really want to make sure that there is something there for any woman who walks in our door, not just a business leader, not just a mom, not just someone who is at the end of their career and maybe wrapping up their role as a leader. We want to make sure that everyone who walks in the door is getting something out of spending their time and money with us. After lunch, we don't want anyone to fall asleep, so we're going to be moving everyone around. We'll have Maribel Parman, who is going to talk about using your body as a tool for communication and how your body can build resilience, your body can process trauma. She is a dancer, and she'll be bringing her other dancers with her to kind of get everyone moving and getting some brain juice flowing to think about leadership in maybe a different way than they've been exposed to before. Marisa Clark is also going to be talking about finding your own voice through improv. And so she's a performer and director in local theater in Billings. She's also been president of Junior League. And she's going to talk about how something like improv, something like performance, something like that sort of theatrical environment can help you build leadership skills that maybe you wouldn't have access to otherwise. And then Beth Caldwell is a local esthetician. She is going to be talking about how to create your life as a leader and love it. Like, burnout is totally real. Burnout is something that so many people struggle with because of all of our roles and responsibilities. Every woman, all things, right? And so she's going to be talking about how to make sure that as you are influencing others and serving as a leader in your community, you're doing it with authenticity and purpose. And it's creating a life you want. It's creating a life that you are happy.
That's really special. So for your Billings conference, how many historically, how many of the participants are from Billing proper, and how many might come in from across the state?
You know, there's certainly a lot more from Billings because we are so known in the Billings community. But how it works is we bring Molly in and she makes sure that her community in Bozeman knows about it. We bring you and Lee, and your followers and your friends and your family are like, oh, there's a women's leadership in conference in Billings. I should be part of that. We have members who are from Helena and Bozeman and maybe don't really get to participate, but they are supportive of what Junior League is about and they want to like contribute to that. And so last year we sold out. I think a couple of weeks before. We have been having ongoing sales since, I want to say, December, November. And so we're currently at about 150. We have maybe 100 more seats. We have a month left. And so while all of the early bird specials are over, we're really hoping that people will take advantage and buy their ticket soon rather than at the last minute, which is how I tend to do things. And so, everyone is welcome. We're excited to have anyone who is part of leading even their own lives. Like, even if that is where their leadership skills show up. Leading their life, leading their family, leading their does lead to leading their community because they are living in that sustainable, purposeful, authentic.
Absolutely. And what an opportunity. Like you said, you already have 150 so people already responded. And what an opportunity for Montana women to come together and meet other rock star Montana women. And Billings, like, that's not terribly far from the Wyoming border. So, YO women, you too. Come on, everyone get in the
Yep,
truck.
absolutely. I'm hoping that some of my friends from North Dakota and maybe even Colorado will join us. Um, we are really excited that not only are we highlighting women from Great Falls and Bozeman and Billings, but our keynote speaker this year is Melanie Sand Snyder, and she's from Red Lodge. She is a part of the Red Lodge ski community and Red Lodge Mountain, which, if you know anything about skiing, apparently it requires snow, and Red Lodge doesn't have any snow. So, what is it like to be a leader of that kind of business that doesn't have snow, that is required for its success, and still move that organization forward? I'm really excited to hear her talk about unlocking leadership potential in the face of challenges and making sure that the culture of that community stays true to the mission.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, what about, like you said, this is a volunteer-led effort. You've also had to fundraise. Have you had a good response from local sponsors?
We definitely have local sponsors that I'm really excited that we get the opportunity to work with. I don't know who any of them are.
That's all right. I'll edit that part out.
Not my thing.
No,
I
but
will say that Northwestern Energy only gave us $1,000, and I pay more than that in electrical bills in a year. So screw them.
yeah, yeah.
That too, not on the record.
Yep. Yeah, that's not on the record. Don't worry, but that's funny.
I do have
Um,
3 more people to talk about who are speakers.
please do. Yeah. So we've you're a boss. So we've so thank you so much for showing us the morning and the post lunch. How are you going to wrap up the conference?
So, toward the end of the day, we are going to be talking about what it looks like to be a leader in organization. Sarah Hofer is the Chief Planned Giving Officer at Yellowstone Boys and Girls Foundation. And so she's been leading nonprofits for 15 years. And we're really excited for her to talk about the cross of leadership and influence and philanthropy. Alison Watt, she is also a therapist. And she's going to be talking about how to get out of your own way. Don't give up, find a way, know your worth, do it. And so we're really excited to hear about the ways that she has overcome barriers professionally and personally to build a really thriving therapy practice. And then Josie Evans Macon, she is a registered nurse and also owns Wild Roots IV and Wellness. And she's going to talk about combining holistic healthcare and the opportunity and leadership, how we are leaders but don't, like, how to resist burnout, how to resist sacrificing ourselves. The end of the day, we get to hear from Melanie Sand Snyder, who is going to be talking about how she has unlocked leadership potential, particularly as an HR leader, focusing on workforce development and talent strategy. She is a great storyteller. She's an Indigenous woman and a community leader in Red Lodge and part of the Red Lodge Mountain community.
That is, and it's going to be all in downtown Billings, right?
Yeah, we're lucky enough to have a board member who is on staff at the Northern Hotel. And then we also have had a long-standing partnership with them since moving the conference to their doors. We will be there all day, starting at 9 o'clock, finishing up the day around 5. That's where our lunch is. It's such a beautiful venue. And then everyone gets the opportunity to explore downtown Billings at the end of the day.
Also, some really good food in downtown Billings too.
Yeah,
And
for sure. It's kitty
and
corner from Big Dipper, so I'll definitely be having an ice cream cone at the end of the day.
well, I am so excited to hear that. It's you're selling so many tickets. You're getting sponsors. You're like this is full fledged an established conference here in Montana for women. Um, that looks like it'll be March 27th. That's a Friday,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
like you said, from roughly 9 to 4. Um,
5.
can you? No, thank you. 9 to 5. Can you show or talk about where and how folks might be able to purchase tickets or learn more about junior
Hmm.
leagues of
Yeah.
billing?
Yep. So Junior League Billings is online. We're at juniorleagueofbillings.org. You can purchase a sponsorship there. We have sponsorship opportunities, I think down to 100 or 250, but all the way up to $10,000. And so we absolutely are elevating our sponsors. Junior League of Billings is really values our community partnerships and wants to make sure that community leaders in Billings are also community leaders in the Billings business community are also given some recognition. Um, We'll also be doing that in June with an event called The Collective, in which we highlight women-owned businesses. And it's sort of a vendor fair that we started last year based off of our previously successful Marketplace Magic, which was at the Metro every Christmas. And it's going to be so much fun because we have everyone from calligraphers to permanent jewelry. It's such a great time. And that's at Billings Hotel and Convention Center, which is a big sponsor for us as well. Oh, you probably have to take that out because we're at the Northern this year. um,
Oh, that's all right.
um, what else should I say about that?
I am curious.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
no,
So on your website, it talks about the first ever Montana Women's Leadership Awards. What does that look like? What is it's obviously a women's leadership, but talk to us about that decision to start hosting awards.
yeah, after 10 years, well, 9 years of highlighting all these amazing women leaders in our community and in Montana, we were like, what else can we do to really make sure that the women who are leading our state and our community are getting the recognition they deserved? So we developed an leadership awards, particularly to say what a great job all of them have done. This year, we have 5 categories for these awards, and the Summit Award is honoring visionary progress and bold firsts. And here in Billings, we're lucky enough to have Penny Ronning and Stephanie Bacchus, who began the Human Trafficking Task Force for Montana. They've been really influential in not only legislation, but making sure that the community and the state are recognizing the problem of human trafficking and also giving attention to the missing and murdered Indigenous men and women. Can I just say women? Missing and murdered Indigenous women that plagues our state. Stephanie is a longtime member of Junior League Billings, and we're really excited that we get to point out the leadership coming from our ranks. Several of the other awards recipients are longtime Junior League Billings members, including Dina Pett. She is the recipient of the Legacy Award this year. And in looking at that, we really wanted to celebrate someone who throughout their lifetime has really impacted and influenced through mentorship and service the community, the organization, the whole state through their accomplishments. She has been part of Junior League of Billings for such a long time. She was sort of the right-hand woman. She was in the administrative assistant role for decades and is the person that so many people in Billings associate with Junior League. We also are going to be highlighting Mary Jane Nisley, who is a judge here in Billings as the recipient of the Catalyst Award. Mary Jane has been part of the drug court in Billings, which has just been influential in the transformation of so many lives. The Catalyst Award really recognizes the innovation and organizational change, in this case of the justice system, that Mary Jane has been part of and influenced with her leadership. She is also a past president of Junior League. So as you can see, like, not only are Junior League members and board members influencing the community and making but they're also making really big changes in systems in their professional and personal lives. And so, like, we can be so proud of who's been part of Junior League Billings, and we're so excited to welcome more people, particularly through the conference. We also have the Beacon Award, and we're really focusing there on how leadership and compassion intersect. Lynn Maloney Cabrera is the executive director of Eagle Mount in Billings, which supports recreational activities for people who have disabilities and might not otherwise get to take advantage of those recreational opportunities, whether it's swimming or horseback riding or skiing. I have a friend from Minnesota who would come to support her niece, who is blind, to go skiing in Red Lodge through Eagle Mount, which, like, what a huge impact that has. We're talking multiple states. And then we also really wanted to recognize that it's, there's people at the very beginning of their careers who are just starting off, who are making huge shifts, and their leadership is so influential already and has so much potential. And so this year, Brittany Higgs is winning that award. The award honors a rising woman leader under 35, and Brittany is not only that, but she's also such a great example of the energy and ideas and influence that this award recognizes. She is the founder of the Her campaign, and the Her campaign is a organization that also supports survivors of human trafficking.
That is a jam-packed schedule, and jam-packed schedule for the speakers, and then also for the award winners. I mean, it's just a lot of solid women in the room.
Yeah, and like, I know that it happens on community levels, but I'm not familiar with a whole lot of other opportunities to come together as an entire state full of amazing women who are making such a difference in their leadership roles, and celebrating them and learning from them and exchanging ideas with them. Like, what is it that we're going to learn from you this year, Lee? What is it that we're going to learn from Melanie and Molly and Cynthia? I'm so excited to find out.
It's just going to be fun, and I need it, honestly. I need to be in a room full of really strong women that it'll be healing. How about that?
Mm-hmm. When I initially was thinking about how to make a difference in this community and where I wanted to put my energy, I just was desiring so much the influence and the relational interaction and relationship building with other strong women. And I have that in my friendships, but so many of my friends have left Montana. And so to have other women in the community who also value our community and value service and value building relationships, and women leading women, and getting to spend time with them has just been so influential in my own life.
Thank you, and for the rest of Junior League of Billings for organizing this and for all the efforts you have put into the Montana Leadership Conference. Folks, I guess I was going to direct them, but Angie, can you tell folks how they can learn more, purchase tickets, or sponsor?
Yep, it's all there on our website, Junior League of Billings, under the Leadership Conference tab, under the Montana Women's Leadership tab. I think you can find it like at least 3 ways. And there you can purchase tickets to the conference, you can sponsor the conference, you can purchase tickets to the Leadership Awards. We are also offering tables for the Leadership Awards ceremony. And so you can get like a little bit of a discount in attending that. We also are always available to host vendors of female-owned businesses and organizations that offer additional values to our attendees. So Girl Scouts are going to be there selling cookies. I'm sure we're all going to walk away with a box or 2 of Girl Scout cookies in March. But anyone that wants to be part of that is certainly welcome to contact us through our website, the general contact page. You can also reach me directly at the email of membership@juniorleagueofbillings.org. Sorry, that might not be my email. Do you know my email? You probably do.
I have it right here. I see.
I'm just kidding.
Membership at juniorleagueofbillings.org.
Good. I was like, what about Gmail? Is that in there? So sorry about that. I'm directly available at membership@juniorleagueofbillings.org, and I'd love to answer any questions, connect people with opportunities to sponsor, to attend, to offer a vendor booth, and even just for questions if people are like, hey, what is Junior League about? What is this conference about? What are these leadership awards about? Hey, I want to participate next year. Great, let me know. We'll make sure to let you know when it comes time at the end of 2026 to apply as a speaker. But maybe you want to be part of the collective. Maybe you want to check us out by attending a social or a meeting or one of our service projects. I am an open book and love talking about Junior League and what it does in the community.
Absolutely. Angie, thank you so much for joining us today to promote the Junior League of Billings and to talk about the 10th annual Montana Women's Leadership Conference. Folks, again, that is going to be March 27th, 2026, right? Just next month. Make sure you get your tickets. And if you feel like this is right up your alley, but you can't attend, hey, check out, there's sponsorship links and donation links on Junior League of Billings website. So support women, support Montana women. And let's have a better future, a better, more compassionate future.
Appreciate that so much, and your support, Lee, of Women Leading Women and Montana women's leadership.
Absolutely. Alrighty, folks. Well, that wraps up another episode of Follow the Leader. I'm your host, Lee Larson. Thank you for joining me today. Angie, thank you for being here. We just love
Glad to be here.
You're great.
Okay, thanks.
And folks, leave your comments. Are you going to go? Are you going to meet me there? I'm speaking. So let me know in the comments if you're going to be there or any other questions you might have about Junior League of Billings. And we'll make sure those questions get answered. This has been another episode of Follow the Leader. I'm your host, Lee, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. And why is it not stopping? That's so funny.